Hey YouTube, this is Wheelchair21 and It's a Gundam Week Day 1. It's a Gundam Week is about mobile suits from Gundam. It can be any type, it could be a Gundam, it could be a mobile suit, mobile armor, anything of the above. And starting it off is the RX-78 Deluxe Edition MSIA that comes with the whole G-Armor attachment. This figure came out in America around like 2002 to 2003. Came with a lot of accessories. Comes with 2 Beam Sabers, one which is badly deformed now because of storage, so I'm only showing the one. The Beam Saber Javelin, 2 shields, for when it's in G-Armor mode, the Core Fighter, and the G-Armor back here with its caterpillar wheels and cool rolling aroundness and such. Anyways, this MSIA is the version 2. It's much more bulkier, much more oomph to it, has an actual more realistic look than the original one, first released in like 2000, at the beginning of the MSIA waves in America. Its basic points of articulation are in the knees, the hip, the waist, the foot and ankle, elbow, bicep, wrist, shoulder, and head. Along with that, it has thruster capabilities. Along with that, it comes with a new version of its bazooka, more accurately painted, along with this little, like, kick stand thing here that it uses. For it could also use the bazooka either underhanded or over the shoulder. Comes with its normal capability of its beam rifle, with a trigger hand on both sides. The shields lock into place by clipping over the arm and clipping into these little nudges here. The body is capable of coming in half to reenact its, actual connection points with Core Fighter and such, and when it goes into the G-Armor. Seeing that, we have to have this in half, I will just keep this split for now, and go right on to the Core Fighter. The Core Fighter is nicely detailed, has all of its regular basic details that it had in the show for the inners, the outers, and the whole exterior mold. It's really nice, really accurate design. I really enjoy it. It even has like cut-ins to its nozzle, nose cone for its actual Vulcan guns. As for this, we have the regular G-Armor mobile unit, which has actual working caterpillar legs, which is usually piloted by Sailor Mass, or that Slugger guy who gets killed by the Big Zam. One cool thing is this turret actually is rotatable. Actually, it is able to rotate, unlike it did in the show. It also comes apart, the cockpit part for tank mode. Also, the turrets come off, and the wings come off for the other mode of flight capability where... hold on one moment, this just clipped out. Hopefully it didn't break. Okay, hold on. Alright. Anyways, the wings come off because supposedly when it's in flight mode, the thrusters go on like this, the caterpillar legs come off, and such. Supposedly there's like a form where like the Gundam standing in it and flying when it's like this, because it goes in for when you combine it with Core Fighter mode. It actually goes in as so by plugging it in straight down. So you pull up this flap here, and you push the legs down in, and connect it right to the crotch piece, which is kind of funny because there's a peg and a hole right where his crotch is. Kind of intercoursey, right? But Sailor Mass is the man in this scene. Yeah, Amuro's her bitch. Take that, Quattro Vagina. Anyways, once getting that placed in here, you have the Core Fighter, and you can easily just nicely attach it as so on these little pegs, because the thrusters are actually connection pieces as well. Well, anyways, as I was saying, this was only piloted like this once or twice in the show, but when using the Core Fighter, instead of using the whole G-Armor system, the wings are back to its normal G-Fighter regular stance mode, so it actually flies and looks like an actual jet, not some weird cockamamie scheme. As for the cockpit of the actual G-Armor unit, it becomes an actual ground tank system when plugging into the main, what you would say, the main component of the Gundam, component A. All you do is take off the gun for a sec, plug in the new shield, which I have actually backwards because you put the gun actually over that and put the thing down so it can hold the gun and shield. Forgot to mention that since it is a swiveling joint, this piece here on the shield actually swivels. So you actually just clip this in on the forearm, which it's not clipping in, because the forearm got spun around. You clip this in as so, and then pop your gun back in. And now you got your component A ready to dock. Easily dock that in atop his thruster and his shoulders and such, of his chest or whatever. Easily locks into place, as so, as the turret falls off. These MSIAs just go to hell on me, always falling apart. Common factor that early MSIAs over time wear out easily, so their joints are kind of fragile or just wear. Anyways, you put this in here like so, and you got the G tank, which was piloted only maybe once or twice in the show, where, you know, Amuro and Sayla would actually be conjoint like this before actually adding in component B, which easily so you would have to take out the core fighter since it doesn't do what like HCM Pros or the high grade model kits do. Flip back the wings yet again, so it looks something like this. Reconnect the body, and when you reconnect the body, also place back in the caterpillar wheels more accurately. And this thing also came with like a landing stand, but I usually misplace that a lot, as I did in this review, which helps balance out the machine as you also put in the arms. It's not accurate. It's very clunky. It doesn't look nice. A high-grade model kit sure looks better than this. Because, I mean, when you look all around, it's very, very clunky. The gun doesn't even go where it's supposed to go, because the gun's supposed to be, like, sticking out on the side here somehow. Or it's supposed to plug into the front of the cockpit. I'm really not sure, because the instructions were very vague. I mean, this thing is very bulky, very long, and looks very horrid compared to what it did in the show. I recommend that if you do want the MSIA form, just keep the RX-78 as the RX-78, and keep the G-Armor as G-Armor. Don't try to put it in, like, the whole G-Fighter mode. So I really say at that point, get the recent updates of Master Grades, High Grade model kits. But if you really just don't want to put something together, I do recommend trying to get your hands on these, like, figures and such, because we all know the G-Fighter will be an exclusive if made in the Robot Damashi line for the Gundam. Even if I don't think the Gundam comes apart. But still, it's a Gundam Week Part 1. This will only be about MSIAs of the Universal Century. Stay tuned for Day 2 and 3, which is the gun cannon, followed up by the gun tank, and then the following week is about Zeonic mobile suits, leading up with the Easy 8 Gundam from MSO8 team. So Amuro Ray and Sayla Math are gonna go off and do some conjoining of the components, eh? And I'll see you next time. This has been Wheelchair21. Go check out Toko Anime News. Follow me on Twitter. Check out The Broken Infinite. Check out Raijo Nihon. And check out Hirotaku, which is either coming soon or already up and active. So, see ya.